Yo, what is going on, Raiders? The boss here with the first episode of
Beat The Bozzz.
I'm super excited to see how much you will like the series, so definitely make sure to show me that by hitting the like button until it's not working anymore. That being said, we're starting in the first episode with a reward consisting of 50 diamonds for the player who wins against me. But beware, each time I win, the amount of diamonds will increase for around 10 diamonds. Due to the fact that I know my community well, I already can see the comments coming up that 50 diamonds are not a lot. I agree, it's not that like players will be rich when winning those diamonds, but like I said before, every time I win the amount of diamonds will increase. And also I have a question for you then. How long does it take for you to get into the top 20 in the Whaler challenge and win 60 diamonds there? And how long did it take to come to my Facebook page and write down your in-game name here? So compare the effort you need to take on to win some diamonds normally in the game and how much you needed to get a chance here. So I think that's a fair value, and maybe the reward might increase also when you really like the series. But that of course depends on you. Alright, now let's get to the rules which we're gonna have in Beat The Bozzz. I've seen that a lot of players who applied are on Stronghold level 8 or 9, and to give everyone a chance to win in this series I made up hard rules for myself, so that it's gonna be very likely that I'm gonna lose sooner or later. So let me introduce you now to the rules. Rule number 1. Each time I win, I lose 20 troop camp spaces for the next battle. That means that after 10 fights, I will only bring 40 troops into the battle. So I think it's gonna be very hard for me to win against even a Stronghold 7. Rule number 2. Every time I win in both fights in an episode, I bring one less barrel into the next episode. I think that's also something which is gonna make it extremely hard. Last but not least, rule number 3, which says that I cannot use the same troop types twice in a row. That means when I use a cannoneer in the first fight, I cannot use them in the second one. I hope those rules will make it a lot harder for me to win in these fights, or at least make it in the end as good as impossible. On the other hand, I can also use buffs, and I win already when I get 1 star against the base. I think it would be very boring if I would have no chance to win at some point. But I've got also great news. In the next season you will have the opportunity to make those rules. This time I just wanted you to show what I mean when I'm talking about, yeah, I'm making up some rules. Alright, time to pick our 2 players for this episode. I was really surprised, so many players have written down their names on my Facebook page. Almost 100 raiders want me to attack their bases, and that's crazy. To pick those players, I put their names into a name generator, which you can see here. Of course originally it doesn't look like that, but I've created an overlay with the Beat The Bozzz design for it. Alright, let's check out the first player. And the first one we are gonna attack here will be Captain Rvy with the Stronghold 8. Unfortunately without any funny line for me to read out, but still we're gonna have fun with his base. Then the next one would have been Sarah Sanacia, but it seems like she's just repeated her name and that's why I couldn't find her account. Too bad for her. Please make sure to spell your name correctly, I'm not gonna search for you a lot to find you in the game. Okay, then the next one will be let's just call him Goku, with a Stronghold 9, and he doesn't want us to look down on his base. And bro, no worries, this series is simply just for fun, so don't take it too serious. Alright, now we have our players. No Stronghold 10 this time, but of course I tried to make some spectacular attacks to make this series more fun. So let's have a look at the troops I will bring into the battle against Captain Rvy. In this fight we can bring 6 healing barrels and 240 troop camp spaces with us into the battle. So we could go easy on this base, but we won't. Therefore we are having here 5 gauntlets and 90 archers. Then we also bring simply just 5 healing barrels and 1 berserk barrel with us into the battle, and I'm confident that this should be enough to 3-star this base with this overwhelming power.
Beat The Bozzz. Round 1.
Captain Rvy's base looks pretty decent. We're having here a Stronghold 8, highly upgraded walls, and towers are also on a good level. However, my troops are on a completely different level and might be tough to deal with for him. Also he has no bunker troops, which is gonna make it for me a lot easier, especially with the gauntlet, who would have had some problems with raiders. Alright, first of all we're gonna use our archers to clean up those buildings which are standing around his base to get already closer to the 1st star. To make a fight short, it is always important also to have a look at the corners of the map if there is hiding any other building. I think it happened to everyone yet that there was one building you didn't see and then you had no time to take it out and therefore just got 2 stars. Alright, we are waiting here for the cloud beacon to get destroyed because then we can send in our gauntlets straight to the towers without having them to concern with any other buildings. And here they come, all 5 gauntlets go straight to the walls, and as you can see, the wall is really nothing to them. They can break through it, and while they take down the crow's nest, we send in some of our archers to support the destruction of the towers. When you're using archers, it is also important not to send in all archers at once, because they can be taken out very easily by the towers. My strategy with archers is normally to send them more in waves to take down specific buildings which are left over by the gauntlets or in other fights from other troops. So far so good, the gauntlets have split up and attacked the base from 2 sides, which is of course good against this base, because then we will be done with the fight earlier. When having a look at the health status from the gauntlets, we can see that they have a lot of health still left, but normally I only use this troop combination with archers and gauntlets for a lower stronghold level. For higher ones, you want to support them with a couple of marauders, so that the marauders take up the trap damage and the gauntlets can go crazy on the base. Hopefully I can show you this strategy at some point in the future. Now I'm gonna send in the remaining archers because I can see that the remaining towers all shoot at the gauntlets and the archers can easily take them out from the back. We have only 2 of the gauntlets left so far, and that is because the gauntlets keep running into the traps, which are able to kill them very easily. We also could see that a couple of seconds ago, but that doesn't really matter anymore, as this base is as good as done. We only got 1 tower left, which can be taken out easily by the archers, and in a few seconds we will get our 3rd star. Okay, this was the first battle we ever had in Beat The Bozzz. I think a good start, and because we have won, the diamonds for the next players who defeats my attack will get now 60 diamonds in total. So for Goku I'm taking with me 8 raiders, 25 marauders, 6 bombastics, 15 cannoneers, 1 healer, 3 healing barrels, 2 fog barrels and 1 berserk barrel. I would have taken archers instead of cannoneers, but due to the rule number 3, we cannot take the same troop types which we have used in round 1. That's why we have to go for the cannoneers. Also due to rule number 1, we can only fill our troop camps up to 220 troop camp spaces for this battle. You can already see the rules make my life very difficult here.
Beat the Boss. Round 2.
Okay, Goku has a stronghold 9 base and it seems like he's set up very nice with a lot of bombardiers in the troop bunkers. I think they're going to be a real problem with our troop selections right now, because if the cannoneers are not fast enough in taking them out, they're gonna be able to take out our marauders instantly and the fight will be over then very fast. However, we can already see a huge weakness spot in his base which is gonna guarantee the 1st star for us. That's why we are starting off with the first marauder in the back and use the bombastics to blow a hole into the line of walls so that we can sneak into the base from the back, followed by the first wave of marauders and the healer. If I would have attacked this base from the front, the bombastics would have killed my troops very fast and that could have been my first defeat in this Beat The Bozzz series. But like I said before, I won't make it easy for you. Then we are using our first fog barrel, because those 3 working crystal spires are a really effective defense when they are standing so close together. So sometimes it's more efficient to use the fog barrel instead of the healing barrel, because in some cases it's not that powerful to recover the troops fast enough. Seems like we have come to the problem area where the marauders are gonna touch on the troop bunker with the bombardiers inside it. And unfortunately our cannoneers are still too far away to support them. I think I should have brought more of the cannoneers, then there wouldn't have been such a big issue. Unfortunately though, you can see that the bombardiers have all the time in the world to take out my main army without having any troubles. And with the last cannoneer who's gonna die in a second, the fight will be over with in total 66% damage on this base. I have to admit, a really nice base and a strong base. Like I said before, I should have brought more cannoneers into the battle, but still that was a victory for me again in this last fight of episode 1. This means the pool of diamonds will increase again for 10 diamonds. Alright, in episode 1 we were victorious against Captain Rvy first and against Goku. This means we're gonna start in episode 2 with a pool of 70 diamonds for the player who defeats me next. Of course, the rules will continue as well in the next episode. Don't forget to leave some feedback in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed it. This is it from me. Have a great raid. Peace out.